it's just kind of been cool to kind of develop a different type of love for the game than what I think a lot of guys do. I play with a lot of guys that it's their livelihood. They want to go pro or something. It's like, well, yeah, that would be nice and everything, but I just kind of want to be the best version of myself I can be, whether that's through the business or through golf or um, whatever. It's pretty cool. The game's given me a lot, so it's pretty cool to give back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. Robby and Jonathan here. Jonathan, how you doing today?
Buddy, let me tell you, we just had an incredible interview. I can't wait for you guys to hear about this. I look back at my life sometimes and think I've wasted so many years, and we had a chance to interview a guy that didn't waste any of it. He started at 17, Nate Hryn, Acorn Hills. Not only an incredible golf idea in terms of like how the product can work in the space, but also an incredible mission to create some type of sustainability. And even if it's just getting rid of a small piece, i.e., a tag, in terms of helping the environment. So, what do you think?
I thought Nate was awesome. I don't think we've wasted it. We've just had different lesson learned moments throughout life. He just jumped on it earlier. He must have learned all those lessons when he was like 7, 8, 9, because
Right.
at 17 starting an apparel brand that's not only like, hey, how can I make cool t-shirts or hoodies or something with a logo on it, but like, hey, let's make golf stuff because I like golf, but let's do it sustainable. Let's think about how do we plant trees, how do we come up with recycled tag, just the concept of like, and I never thought about this, like for every article of clothing, like the little
Right.
piece of plastic that holds the tag, like golly, that's everywhere. And
Uh,
he's trying to do something about it.
at 17, I mean, I'm 45 and I've had 28 jobs, and it took me about 30 years to really figure out anything from my first job to whenever I finally settled on something. Uh,
But
he,
same.
he's like the ultimate. I did ask him if he's an Eagle Scout because not only did he start a company, but he also sort of became a college level golfer without any lessons. He created a program. He did 21 hours a year, a semester. He's just an ultimate high achiever, and I am positive at that time in my life I was not driven by anything other than like playing baseball and probably I'm gonna say chasing Keisha because it was about the time it was about the time we met. So other than that, that was the only thing I was interested in.
Well, you were successful in that chase,
I
so
was
good job.
successful, and yeah,
Yep. It's a great interview. We think you guys will enjoy it.
yeah,
But I guess, like always, we have to give a shout out to our friends, Summit Golf Brands, Bead Dratty. We've got Zero Restriction. We've got Fairway and Green. Just all great brands that we get to work with. You're rocking a Zero Restriction hoodie. I've got a quarter zip from Zero Restriction, nicely with the Best Ball logo on it here. They are kind to give our listeners and audience a 20% discount, which is
yep.
really cool. So if you use Best Ball 20 at any of those sites, they will knock 20% off. And they have some good stuff. I mean, they just released, I don't know if you saw it, there's some of their spring line. Like
I did.
it's really good polos. So yeah, you got to check those out. Another friend of the program, Western Birch, Jonathan, we talk about them all the time.
Yeah,
Custom golf tees that last a long time. I did reach in my bag the other day and I was like, ooh, I need to restock
I was
that.
I was
Yeah,
just thinking that we're going on that trip to Scotland, Ireland, and I need some shorties because I'm not sure I'm taking a driver with me, so I'm going to be using a lot of irons.
yeah.
Uh,
You don't have to
need
order
to,
more though, right? You have plenty of those.
Oh no, I have no idea. I've used them. I bought small packages. I need to order a
I
couple
gotcha.
more,
I gotcha.
and ones
Yeah.
that I won't lose.
Yeah, well, I'll be using the best ball ones that we have and scattering them throughout Ireland and Scotland. But yeah, custom with your logo on them and any color on the stripe patterns. It's just they're great. So many thanks to Lewis and them. Jonathan, I won't get into it too much, but we are trying to get better at golf.
Trying
I know
to.
you've been doing some lessons in our series called Course Corrections, but I have to give a shout out to the stack system. I got it here on my shoulder. I did another workout yesterday. I'm almost done with the foundation series of lessons, and I'm hitting the ball great. I'm hitting it better off my drives than I have in a long time. Getting more distance. I actually got one close to where our friend Brandon was hitting it the other day, so that was a lot of fun. And then Arcos Golf, dialing in the game improvement with the numbers, right? Figuring out
Right.
where we're losing shots. And the other day for me, it was putting for sure, which, of course, that had been the thing that was working well, and it was the one that didn't show up. As I'm driving it well, putting just was gone. But yeah, Arcos tells us where we need to practice, where we need to keep getting better. So many thanks to both of them for their support of our course correction series. So Jonathan, any last words before we get into our interview with Nate?
No, we mentioned in the interview, if in 5 years, it will be 5 years. So if you're looking for some inspiration, young, old, ideas that you might have had, check this out. It is well worth it. And I'm excited to see what happens next with Acorn Hills, and glad that we got to meet him at this point. Maybe one of those way back when I met him type things. So,
Yeah, he'd already been on the Weather Channel though, so this was
right.
kind of a step down for
A little bit of a step down.
his trajectory on media appearances. But we hope you guys enjoy our conversation with Nate with Acorn Hills. All right, Nate, welcome to the Whole Story Podcast. We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I know we connected there on social media, and it's nice to kind of make that a reality now and meet kind of virtually. It's pretty cool to meet new people in the industry. I know we're on year 4 now, and every single year we got to meet kind of new people, up and comers, especially podcasters and stuff. So it's really cool to meet you guys.
Isn't that the best part of golf, right? Meeting people.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's like you arrive as strangers and you leave as friends. So
Yeah.
it's super awesome.
Yep.
So I'm more described as outsidey, not necessarily outdoorsy, but
More described than who? Me?
I'm not outdoorsy at all.
Oh.
I'm outsidey. Like I prefer to hang out in my backyard, maybe
Yeah.
in the pool or something like that. But it feels like you're actual outdoorsy.
Myself, are you talking
Yeah.
about me or Robby? Yeah. Oh yeah. Central PA. Like I said, in a lot of other podcasts and stuff I've been on, there was not a lot of country clubs where I'm at. And emphasis on the word country, I guess. And there's more or less farm towns and feed stores. So that's kind of, I'm outdoorsy. I don't hunt or anything like that. But like yourself, Jonathan, I like to always be outside. That's kind of why I've been drawn to PA and kind of staying here with the rolling hills and the awesome landscape and everything. And then of course the bad winters. It's horrible in the winter time. But that's the only down part.
Yep. Now, you're still in college? Is that correct?
So I started the company when I was 17. Which is,
Golly, that's awesome.
well, thank you.
That's
Yeah, I
fantastic.
guess you could say when I was turning 18. So basically 18. I was a freshman in college, so ran it all throughout college. I actually graduated early, had enough high school credits. So I graduated in December of 24. So I'm officially graduated, but there's a chance I go back for my master's. The school's offering me a pretty big scholarship to go back and kind of get it essentially for free if I were to well,
Congratulations.
thank you. If I were to kind of work for them. So I'm 22 now, so I hope to go back for another year or so and get my master's for free.
Very nice. Well, you say you started this thing at age 17. Tell us the genesis of Acorn Hills.
It's an adventure, and it's a good one for sure. It's like, like I said, being from a very small town in PA, obviously everyone leaned into the environment a lot. And in high school, I kind of dodged a lot of I had the SAT scores and things like that to take like the higher level sciences, but it really wasn't of interest to me. So I kind of, jumped out of physics and chems and stuff like that, and actually went and took a class called PA ecology, which is like, birds, fish, trees of Pennsylvania, and, sustainability things that can be done. And it was really eye opening for me because we studied textiles as one of the, um, models or kind of part of the curriculum was kind of areas that were like high in pollutants and things that really no one talks about. And it was interesting to me because textiles is $4 trillion industry annually. And you look at something like how many brands there are and products and product ranges and everything. And it's like, geez, no one's really talking about that. No one's really talking about um, the way that plastic pollutes in textiles. Everyone thinks, okay, within the fabrics and stuff, yeah, but more or less, really the heart and soul of it is within the presentation of it. So you look at something like the price tag. Um, it hangs off the clothing. There's a little clear piece of plastic that attaches it to the clothing, and there's you multiply that by every single product and every SKU and every variant and everything, and that is insane when you think about it. So I always thought, well, why couldn't that be changed or at least reduced or given back tenfold of what you can take? Because obviously there's a lot of good plastic out there. I'm not saying plastic's bad because you look at something like the medical field, plastic's essential for life. Um, but for us, I thought, well, why not create something that you could maybe change that presentation? So I tabled it for a year or so while I was in high school, and I thought, well, um, I had a couple NIL deals coming out of high school to play college golf, and they were gear sponsorships, and they would send me stuff, and it was awesome. I got free gear and free clothes, but I thought, I don't know, this just seems like it's hypocritical of me to wear this stuff, and it's also kind of seems kind of weird that I think I might be able to make something a little bit better, um, or at least apply what I learned in school and make something a little bit better. So that's kind of where I started out with Acorn Hills. I started sourcing products and really researching that eco-friendly aspect, and we started using what's called seed paper. And I'm not sure, do you guys know what seed paper is?
We're reading on your site about it.
Yeah, so for those out there that don't know, it's really just biodegradable waste paper that, when dried and it's baked and everything, kiln dried and things. When dried, it actually has seeds within the paper. The it's like a cardstock type texture that instead of cutting the tag off and throwing it away, you cut it off and plant it. So right there, we're kind of eliminating that idea of um, pollution as far as the presentation goes, and at least trying to give back what we can. So that we launched in 2022, um, and it's funny because as soon as we launched, we had like a local news article go out about like the tags and everything we were doing, and that actually got in circulation with like USA Today. So they reached out, they did a huge story on us, um, and that like went viral. And then all of a sudden, I get this email on my uh, college account. It was from the Weather Channel. I thought they wanted to fly me out to set to interview me, and I thought, oh, this is fake. I was like, so I fished it, and it bounced back to me that it was real. And I was like, oh man, this is amazing. They want to interview me. So I didn't fly out to set. I actually had a college final that same day. So I interviewed with the Weather Channel at 8 a.m. and then I took my final at 9. So it was pretty surreal, but that was in 22, and it's been kind of exponential ever since. I'm still just a one man crew. Well, I guess I take that back. I'm a two-man crew now. I just hired my
All
first
that.
my first employee a couple weeks ago. He's a sales rep. Played college golf with him, but he used to work for TaylorMade, so he's kind of within the industry himself. So it's really cool to bring Mike on board. But it's been amazing because every year is different from the next. Like I said, we started out with 3 products, and we went on the Weather Channel with basically 3 products, instantly sold out. And it's like, okay, we have all this engagement. How do we capture that, or how do we keep from plateauing? It's just been through collaborations and partnerships, and we worked with the PGA last year of America. Last year, they started us out as PGA. It's the sections they started us out tri-state, which is PA, Maryland, and West Virginia. So you have some big name clubs in there wearing the gear. We got to make some custom things, but yeah, it's been an absolute trip. It's been amazing. I've probably got to work with 60 or 70 different clubs or retailers or whatever you want to call them. But in 2023 we doubled our numbers from 22. And same thing for 24, and we already doubled our numbers from 24 already in 25. So it's just growing, exponentially, no pun intended. But
That's fantastic. So, did you at least have an opportunity to tee up on number one, get your name announced as a college athlete with your own clothes on, get your
yeah,
own
so I got
NIL
the I
deal?
got the outfit, so it's probably my junior year of college. I got the outfit the team, so that's pretty neat.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so and I'm scheduled to do design and stuff for them for the fall as well. So hopefully I'll be still on the team with my masters and get to wear it again. But yeah, it's been super dope to do that. It's been really cool too to go out in public and just be like miles away from home, and you're just like out at Walmart or something. You see someone like wearing uh, a polo or a t-shirt or a hat or something, like they have no connection to you whatsoever. And that's when it's kind of like, oh, that's pretty neat to see.
That's really cool. Jonathan and I are, we had what 20 plus years in sales
Yeah.
for different industries and stuff, and
Okay.
we love talking business, talking growth. Jonathan grew a company and sold it, and so yeah, we're this story is fascinating to us. One, the golf piece of it, but two, just how you keep growing and are seeing, like you said, exponential growth within the brand. But congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, like I said, we source a lot of the same materials as the big box brands, but I don't believe, and the experience starts. I like to say when you take off our clothes because you get to plant your tag, but also too, when you look good and you feel good, you're more likely to do good, whether that be for someone else, for yourself, for something. And no one wants to go drop 100, $200 on a piece of clothing and be like, oh, it's gonna solve all my problems. But if we can help you look good like that, without kind of breaking the bank, for lack of a better term, we really succeeded.
Will it
So
help us play better in golf?
I hope so. I hope so. That's
There we
funny.
go, Jonathan.
It's funny. A lot of people will like DM me and say they shot like their PRs and stuff wearing the gear. So like that's pretty neat to see.
I was just thinking, the tags are perfect because I play most of my golf in the woods, so I can just be like, "Hey,
There
while
you
I'm
go.
here,
Yeah. Yeah.
might
There
as
you
well
go.
plant a tree."
Trailblazer.
Whenever you obviously have some custom clothing and things like that. Do you get to custom pick what seed you're getting or what
Yeah,
type
so
of seeds
there's
you get?
well, so when it comes to like customization of seed, we go within 6 blends of different seeds, and they're all domesticated to U.S. and Canada. So they're like the common ones are like Sweet Asylum, Black Eyed Susan, Catch Fly, those type of things that will kind of grow anywhere. But I
Mhm.
would love to down the line kind of incorporate different type of offerings, whether that be spices and herbs and that type of idea would be super cool to do. So yeah,
You could run a
I guess in a sense you really don't know what you're getting, but you're gonna get one of those six.
you could run a master special that include azaleas
I
in the
know. Could you
tag.
imagine? That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Yeah, like plant your own little garden, your
Yeah.
master's garden.
Have you ever taken like a really big divot in a fairway and just gotten frustrated and in return just popped off the
It's
tag and
tough.
dropped it in there, covered it back
Yeah.
up?
It's funny. We early on we were introduced to this company called Sprout Tea. And I don't know if you guys got to see Sprout Tea, but they're 3D printed golf tees that have grass seed in them. So whenever someone knocks off the top of the tee, it literally spreads grass seed. And it was funny because he said early on, the grass seed wasn't the same grass as the course was using. So, right in front of the little tee boxes where the grass seed would spread would be like all the discolorations of the grass seed from him.
Yeah.
It was funny to hear him say that, but no, no, not really.
No trees are growing in the middle of fairways that you know of, and
No,
flowers.
nothing that I know of. Now, speaking of trees, we do partner with the National Forest Foundation. Every item that's ordered on our website, we plant a tree in the National Forest. It's a program that they run, but we're a part of it. So it's pretty cool to kind of get that 360 approach when it comes to giving back and sustainability for sure.
So obviously you're growing your own brand, but are you partnering with other brands or having conversations with other folks about, hey, this doesn't cost a lot of extra money to incorporate this type of thing. There's obviously a great mission in terms of interacting with our environment and the world, which we do in golf anyway.
Right.
Have you been talking to other folks or had some folks reach out and be like, hey, this is interesting. If we wanted to do it, how would it work?
Yeah, there's definitely opportunities. I think no matter what brand is out there to kind of limit their carbon footprint or at least give back for what they take. But as far as us like personally selling the seed paper tags to them, we don't offer that. Now we do offer services like fully custom, and we'll take care of the whole manufacturing process for companies. And we kind of have it like a two-pronged approach where we offer our storefront, and then we have the wholesaling options and stuff that we do with country clubs and retailers. So on that sort of thing, we kind of, I don't want to say guide them, but I guess kind of are their partner when it comes to things like that.
So you've been hitting, I'm sure, success marks and things like that. What are some goals for the rest of this year and maybe the next 3 years that you're trying to hit?
Yeah, I think a major goal for us is right now we just sell direct to consumer based like that side of the business on our website. And I would love to expand that to like Amazon. But Amazon's very tough, especially within the apparel market. If you guys have ever talked to anyone or have done it yourself, it is very tough. and especially to integrate it with the website that we currently run. So basically, when someone places an order on Amazon, it flows through to our website and pings us and says, "Hey, Nate, we have an order to fulfill," and it's kind of going off one inventory tracking system. So that would be a big goal of 2025 here. I mean, I started building my Amazon thing in December, and it's still yet to launch. It's like I'm not going to launch a product that I'm not proud of. So, uh, it's still kind of in the infant stages. So it's unfortunate, but you're sinking a lot of money into it without a lot to show for it. So that's what's tough about the Amazon integration. So that would be a big goal. Another big goal would probably be to raise organic traffic. Right now we have 2,700 followers on Instagram, which in the grand scheme of things, for me personally, from being from a small town, that's huge. But when you look out on the out, go beyond my small town and beyond the states and stuff, uh, that's just kind of a drop in the bucket. And even though that we have the 2,700 actively engaging and everything, we'd love to raise awareness organically, because truth of the matter is I haven't ran an ad since we launched. I haven't like paid Facebook ads or anything like that. And over the 4 years, believe it or not, our return customer rate after 6 months is like 90%. So it's pretty surreal to think about. And now it's like, okay, now how do we target these 90% to retrigger? So there's a lot of moving parts, but they're all good problems to have. It's just kind of uh, how much of my time do I want to devote to it? How much do I want to put on Mike? And then do I even want to expand to bring someone else on in the future? So tons of moving parts, and but yeah, they're all good problems to have. It's I wouldn't do it if I wasn't passionate about it or didn't love it.
Are you doing all the technology stuff yourself? Like, did you figure out how to build websites and manage all these things, or?
Yeah, that's also a struggle. That's all me. So sometimes I'll break something, and it's like, well, I don't know how to put it back together. So it'll take me a couple months to put it back together. But yeah, with the Amazon thing, it's really been kind of me and the Amazon support staff on a first name basis for the past 3 months. But I don't know. My level of coding is very minimal, but enough to be dangerous, I guess, would be um, just because I have to. Before I had no idea how to code or how to do any of that. So I'm really teaching myself along the way, plus trying to scale. So it's good problems to have, but they're growing pains at times too.
Plus going to class, playing golf,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's all. Yeah,
all,
Getting
all the other
getting my
stuff, right?
getting my
yeah,
master's.
yeah. It's funny. I look back on that now, and I'm putting probably equal to maybe a little bit less time into the company than what I was in college, getting it off the ground. And I was doing that with college athletics, and I was taking 21 credits to graduate early, so I was taking 21 credits a semester. And then I sat on a whole bunch of boards for the college, and um, I helped. The school itself is kind of smaller, so when I first applied, they didn't really have a marketing program or major built, so I helped build that my freshman year too. And I guess theoretically, if you want to get down to it, I was the first guy to graduate like from a marketing major from them, which is pretty cool. I minored in
Is your name on the building already?
no, 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 no,
Not yet.
nothing
They
like that.
planted a tree in the front yard
I
That's
did,
true.
yeah,
with a
Tree of Life.
plaque.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. No, that they've been great though. It's funny, when I first started, there's a sister school right next to us, and they had a small business development center. And originally, they told me my idea was not good. They didn't want to take me on, uh, and it was kind of an eye opening experience, because you'd think, well, okay, they would be supportive of a college startup, and really, this other school wasn't. So when brought it kind of back and launched everything, I really my school itself, Mount Aloysius, they've been great. They leaned into it. They really am open to it. I got to actually design the campus police uniforms as well, so that was pretty fun. So it's things like that you're really grateful. It's really that community that drives everything. It's not so much just throwing designs on a T-shirt or a hoodie or something. It's really the mission behind it.
How are you coming up with new designs for the clothes and for the shirts and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's really what a lot of I see, obviously from other brands. Everyone takes a page out of each other's books, but also too, playing in college, you get to see guys from all different aspects of life, whether it be from the United States or on our college team ourselves, we had 9 different countries my senior year. So, all around the world, and you kind of see these consistent styles, and it's like, well, people want versatility. People don't want some there are niches out there that people would want those wild designs and things, and while that's fun to do, you can't wear those wild designs to the church or the office. You know what I mean? And obviously, for me being from a small area, not a lot of people have disposable income that they can just throw 200, $300 at a clothing order and just get one outfit out of it. So for me, out of the design, I try to really think about versatility. What if I'm gonna wear like a navy or a black item? What can I pair it with? How many outfits can I make off that one outfit? Or one out of those pieces and stuff. But as far as the design at work itself, I played college golf with a guy. His name was Reese. He played against him all the time, and then he moved to California and became a graphic designer. So it's cool to see him um, like succeed what he's doing out in Cali, but also too, before he ever went out there, I talked to him playing golf stuff. It's like, hey, I have this clothing company idea. It's like I would love for you to be a designer for us. So we've been working back and forth. I would say he probably designs half of our stuff, and the other half I probably design. But as far as putting into production, everything that's all through me.
So do you see yourself going past golf? Because obviously your mission, the tree concept, the sustainability of it goes way beyond just golf, right?
Yeah.
There's a larger market. Obviously, you have to focus on what you can focus on when you start a company. But do you see yourself at some point getting out past into other demographics that might appreciate what you're doing?
Yeah, I think sometimes we do try to walk that line of I like to call it cross pollination, but a casual line and then a athletic or outdoors type of line. You see a lot of brands doing that nowadays, but the reason I did it was one being from PA. A lot of my sales and a lot of my community was PA driven right off the bat. And obviously being in PA, you can't golf all year round. So when the market is I guess down for golf ideas and golf products, people aren't buying polos as much. The other side, the casual side, is usually up, and they usually balance each other out. So through the 4 years, it's been a tough line to kind of balance, and, I don't wanna go too far in the casual section where I do label it as a casual brand. I don't wanna get too far in the golf section where I'm just golf niche based. So it's really kind of finding that happy medium and finding kind of products that you can wear either way. Like, right now, I'm wearing a vest, and you can wear that golfing or you can wear that, casually. So, it's finding products like that, kinda going back to what I said about the versatility that really kind of, bridge the gap for sure.
So let's talk about you for a second, right?
Yeah,
Like, obviously, the golf concept or the brand for golf you were inspired by being around it for a while. When did golf start for you? Did you start as a kid? Did you grow up
yeah.
playing? You said you're what, not too far from Oakmont. I mean,
Yeah, no, I
has it
never
always
played
been?
Oakmont, but, I'm more near, like, State College than Pittsburgh
Okay.
for sure, but, I grew up, I was played all different sports, baseball, basketball, football, and of course, golf, was just kind of like an afterthought. My dad, he was okay, he's probably like a 10 or 12 handicap, at one time, and, he gave it up when my brother and I were born, so, it was cool to get back into it when we were old enough. I would probably started when I was, like, 11 or 12, but also too, just spend time with him, spend time with my family, so really, I never thought of it as a, uh I guess, investment to go play in college or anything like that. I never play truthfully, I didn't play in a lot of junior events or anything because 1, they were far away, and 2, they're expensive. It's like, well, I'm not gonna go spend, 300, $400 on a tournament to just go shoot a smooth 87 or something, and drive back home. So, I've always tried to, like, humble myself that way. So, playing in college was a big step for me. I grinded from, freshman year of high school to about like a 0 or +1 handicap, and got to play in college. And obviously, I didn't shoot those scores in college, but I had a couple low rounds. But it's just kind of been cool to kind of develop a different type of love for the game than what I think a lot of guys do. I play with a lot of guys that it's their livelihood. They want to go pro or something. It's like, well, yeah, that would be nice and everything, but I just kinda wanna be the best version of myself I can be, whether that's through the business or through golf or, um, whatever. It's pretty cool. The game's given me a lot, so it's pretty cool to give back.
So smooth
Jonathan, what do you think about a
87.
smooth 87?
Listen,
It
I'm
was
like
like
I'm a struggling 94. I take a smooth 87
it's,
every day of the week.
It was funny, I played 1 junior tournament my entire well, I guess 2. But the 1 junior tournament, I was paired with a kid, he went on to be an All-American at Notre Dame, and then the other kid went on to be an All-American at Duke, and we played in the pouring down rain in PA, and, I think I shot, like, 84 or 85, and I was thrilled, it was like monsoons, and they both carded 68s and were throwing clubs and stuff. I thought, "This is
Golly.
unreal." I went to Arby's afterwards, it was a day for me. They were just, they were all mad, and it was I don't know. But that's just, that's not something I wanna do, you know? If it ever got to that point, golf really wouldn't be golf to me anymore.
Yeah,
So
you got to enjoy it, right?
Yep.
in the middle of building this business, because I've done it before, I've built a business. You don't even have time to play golf, do you? Like,
Mm. Sometimes I would,
Product testing, Jonathan.
that's what it
there we go.
is. I would
That's what it
con,
is.
the teammates. If you scroll down through our original posts, there's, some that are just horribly done, reels that, I had my teammates, film while they were out there playing, and that was, our content, but, it's funny to go back sometimes if I, doing something all day and can't get anywhere on it, I just, scroll through what we were, 2, 3 years ago. It's well, we're doing pretty good. I can't complain too much, but
It's amazing. Jonathan talks about it all the time, and reminds me, like, what, 5 years? It's going to be 5 years, so might as well do something, because you're going to look back
yeah.
and see, like, oh man, I'm glad I started it then, because now we're here.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
eh,
really weird because your life really goes pretty fast whenever you get locked in, and that's something I struggled with the first, I'd say 2 years, especially within the building process was, I missed out. I don't want to say I missed out on a lot, but I got locked into the fact where it's okay, I'm still only, at the time 18, 19. It's okay, I need to be a kid. I have my whole life to work. So I think in 23, I kind of took a step back. I was okay, instead of posting every day now, I'll post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and maybe even outsource a little bit, photography teams and things like that buy back a little bit of my time. And truthfully, I think when I did that, I kind of limited the burnout that was there, and it kind of I don't want to say grew again, but grew stronger for sure.
Well, the
Love it.
alternative is having a job. So,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
like,
did. That was another thing in college too. The school hired me out to 3 or 4 jobs. Um, I peer tutored a lot of times because we had a bunch of classes that students were prone to fail in. So they contacted me. So I peer tutored. I worked in our marketing department, of course, and then I did internships and stuff
were,
all throughout college. And a lot of times it was data analytics and marketing analytics and things. So it
are you
was
an
cool
Eagle
to
Scout?
apply that. What's that?
Are you an Eagle Scout too?
No, 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 no.
Come on,
Not
like
me. No, I quit Cub Scouts in kindergarten. I was not a fan.
that's the one thing. If you're sounding like you're helping old ladies cross the street,
Nah, yeah, all I
you're
needed just a couple babies and hand out buttons, and I could run for
that's
mayor, I guess.
exactly right. Yeah.
But no, it's truly been great. I don't think I could do half of it if I didn't have one, a team around me, but two, when I'm at college, um, and orders come in, one, I run a lot of it out of my college dorm, but then two, back home here, I can't always go back and forth to fulfill orders. So a lot of times my parents will help me out. My mom's been huge. I'll send
That's
her,
awesome.
the orders and labels, and she'll fulfill them and run them to the post office. So it's pretty neat that way to get the family involved too.
Yeah,
Mom/logistics is in his phone.
Mom,
that's
yeah,
right.
she's in my phone as warehouse worker, so that works.
I love it. I love it. Very nice. Well, man, we think what you're doing is really cool. It's a lot of fun to follow a journey of somebody that's doing something they love, and it's inspiring for us. To think, man, what did roughly 20 something years ago, Jonathan? What were we doing at age 22? Definitely at 17, not that,
No.
but yeah, it's fun to track what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that, guys, and like I said, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. If it ever felt like a job, some days are better than all. It's not like all sunshine and rainbows for sure. But um, if I really didn't believe in what we were doing, or didn't wasn't passionate about doing it, I probably wouldn't do it. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see people like yourself enter the space and also be passionate about what we're doing. It's okay, that's kind of a validation for us that we are doing the right thing, we are doing something cool. So
Yep. Well, we love it. So we ask every one of our guests, and you're a good golfer, so this is going to be harder for you, but we want to hear the story of your most memorable golf shot.
My most memorable. So, in college or like or just like in
Anywhere.
general.
Anytime.
I was probably uh probably I think it was 15 is when it was. I was with my dad. It was we just would go up and walk 9 holes every night after he got off work. So I was playing pretty bad. I was probably like started out like 8, 9, 8. Like it was garbage fire. It was bad. And then we got to this par three, and I just teed up an iron. I was so mad. I swung as hard as I could, and didn't I dunk it for an ace? It was pretty neat to have that hole in one with my dad. So and then it was pretty cool too because men's league night. And everyone was around. It's like everyone saw it. So it was, I think it was like 140, something like that. Um, hit a
That's
nine.
really cool.
Yeah, hit a nine and dunked it. So it was pretty neat. I didn't even have to buy anyone beer in the clubhouse. I was too young to buy. So that works.
I love it. And to have your dad there with you,
Yeah, that was
Right.
special.
to
That was
witness
really
it.
cool. That was really cool.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Another thing we always do with our guests is what we call the quick nine. So just 9 questions back and forth.
Yeah.
First one is, what is the favorite course that you've played?
Course I played was in college. It's a course near Pittsburgh called Nevillewood. I think it was a Nicholas design course. I think it's pretty sweet. It killed me, but it was fun to play. It was really fun to play.
A lot of the best courses or favorite courses, the score might not indicate why it's the favorite. So
That's
that's
true.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I played Disney Magnolia was pretty fun. I played that one down in Florida. That was really fun to play. But yeah, I just love golf. Everything from a muni to a public country club or just a country club themselves. I enjoy.
Yeah. All right. You mentioned you have not played Oakmont. It might not be the answer, but what course is at the top of your bucket list?
Definitely Oakmont just because it's MPA. But I think Pinehurst, of course, Augusta. That this is kind of like everyone wants to play Augusta and things like that. But I think anywhere where either my friends or families, that's fine by me. Or just a new course. I love playing new courses. So
Like new to you courses or just new in general?
oh no, new to me. Like
Okay.
yeah. If they're like I mean, new courses are fine. There's really not none around here.
Yeah. All right. Jonathan might be
All right.
freezing up there. Go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I'm here. All right. Now I'm intrigued by this one. If you could pick a pro to wear the Acorn Hills logo, who would it be?
So I would probably pick Justin Thomas, and the reason being is when I was in high school, probably I guess middle school, 8th or 9th grade, we had to do a project where we did like career. You know what I mean? Like you had to pick a career and stuff. And at the time, I was thinking I love golf. I thought, well, maybe I'd want to be a PGM, like a professional pro. And obviously, if you're familiar with Justin Thomas, his whole family comes from pros. So I just would send massive amounts of emails to all these pro players and things like that. Well, it's funny enough, he forwarded it. He never responded, but he forwarded the email to his dad, and his dad started emailing me. So he was a really down to earth guy. We chatted for a long time. So, Justin Thomas is stand up dude. So I would probably like him to wear the stuff.
That'd be a good one. All right. Well, he might be it, but who would be in your dream foursome?
Oh, probably my dad, definitely. If we're going pro status, probably like Arnie, Pittsburgh guy, and I don't know, probably just someone either from my college team or just another pro player like JT. Someone that I think would enjoy. A lot of those guys out there, they're great players, but they're not great personalities. So you definitely want to have an enjoyable time.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right. What's your favorite golf movie?
Oh, golf movie. I mean, you love the classics like Happy Gilmore and things like that. I would say Happy Gilmore is solid. That'd probably be mine.
Robbie, we are getting old. I love the classics of Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore.
There's
It is a classic.
Happy
No.
Gilmore too, right?
No, classic is like Bill Murray back in the day chasing
Yeah,
hedgehogs.
that's vintage.
Back when
That's vintage.
yeah, that's not vintage. That's not that. Oh my gosh! What year was Caddyshack released?
No, the question is, I think Happy Gilmore might have been released before Nate was born, but
Oh no, I
I'll
understand
look
that.
up.
Look, we're old now apparently because vintage. I'm assuming. I mean, I probably wasn't allowed to watch it when I was a kid, but I'm assuming Caddyshack was around when
That's probably the 90s. Anyway,
96 was when it was made.
For what?
96.
Happy
Caddyshack.
Gilmore?
Or no, yeah,
Caddyshack?
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore. I'm sorry.
Right. So we were in high school, Robbie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I was born in '03, so I guess that's a little bit out for me. But
Yeah. I graduated college when Nate
All
was introduced to the world.
there we
All
go.
right.
Married for 3 years.
All right. Golf courses and trees go together. Unfortunately, Jonathan and I think he indicated already, we hit too many of them, but there are many famous golf trees. Which one is your favorite on which course?
Oh boy. When I was in high school, there's a course called Punxsutawney. Well, obviously you guys know Punxsy Phil. Um, so Punxsutawney Country Club has this. I mean, it's a brutal track. It's an amazing track for our area, but like on the ninth hole, it goes out and literally turns right. Like it is straight, and there's this huge tree that like blocks out you from flying the tree or anything like that. And I remember in high school, I would always try and fly it. Why? I mean, I don't know whether that was just like the high school me trying to be like macho or something, try and fly, but I never did. So that would probably be the one tree that lives rent free in my head.
There you go. I
Yeah.
love it. I had one of those trees at a course that Jonathan knows well, Lenrick, here in Columbia, South Carolina. It was on number 16, and you could either go left or right, but you seem to always hit it square off the
Yeah, I
drive.
don't
But
know,
now
man.
somebody cut it down, so it's gone
Oh,
now.
there we go. Well, I can't cheer for a tree being cut down,
I know.
but you know,
I,
it's
bel
one of those bittersweet things.
I believe that's the tree where I just striped it right into the center of it, and it rolled back about 40 feet past the tee box. I think
Yeah, it
the
Yep.
wrong
happens.
direction. The wrong direction for sure.
Oh
Uh,
man, I've hit some trees in my time for sure. Just stripe them.
we were on the ground for
They're
sure.
undefeated.
They are.
A friend of
Although
mine,
they're supposed to be mostly air, right?
That's
a,
what they
a,
say. I think the trees made that one up.
Yep.
a friend of mine was at the Masters during a practice round one time, and Arnold Palmer was out there, and he had hit into the somewhere, and he was muttering to himself, "I could write a book called Playing Golf in the Shade." So we're in good company if we're hitting into the trees.
Very.
Uh,
All
yeah,
right.
that's right. That's right.
Yep. What is your favorite snack on the golf course?
When I was in high school, I would always walk. So, you know, when I made the turn, I was pretty well gassed for sure. So I'd always get the sugar rush and go Skittles and iced tea. That was always a good one. It was
Skittles.
great. It was great for like a 3 hole stretch, and then you just crash. It was brutal. That'd probably be my saying. That'd probably be my go-to, or you know, like a hot dog at the turn or something. Um,
Yep.
but in college, you know, a lot of protein bars, a lot of you know, quick things.
Yep. All right. Favorite golf course logo.
Oh, golf course logo. Oh, that's tough. I don't know. You can't beat classics like Oakmont and stuff, but it's pretty plain. You know, it's just like the O and um, I don't know. I'd probably go with something that's like winged foot or something. You know, something with the feathers, like what you're wearing there on your hat. Robbie, like the feather. That's simple. It's really nice. I like that.
Yeah. Chichesi. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Last question. What's next for Acorn Hills?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. We just got our summer line in I guess Friday. I haven't obviously I'm not going to drop it till June or something like that, but just getting that all um, you know squared away and getting you know usually give country clubs first dibs on that stuff because they like to have it for their summer lines. So that would be what's next, you know, within the next coming months and stuff. But you know, probably the Amazon stores on the docket for sure. You know, something that we did, uh, we didn't have the first couple years, but now we have is like an AI fitting tool on our website. I installed it, so like if you go on there now, and like pick a product, and then you basically fill out like a 5, 6 question little quiz. It'll say like what's your height, what's your weight, you know, body type, things like that. It'll
How far do you hit a 7 iron?
yeah, yeah, some random stuff like that. It'll give you the size, and it's pretty cool. It's dynamic in the fact that depending on what product you're on, it'll remember your profile. So, say you went from a polo to a hoodie, you know, it might recommend you the different sizing if that makes sense based off the fit.
Yep.
So, doing that is really cool experience for everyone on the website, but coding that on my back end
Not
was
easy.
an adventure. So, you know, I had to map each individual product and how it looked and how it was, you know, whether it's size up or size down based off the question. So, you know, definitely building off of that, it was really good. Start of 24, and I think, or start of 25 here. So I think building off of that and somehow incorporating that into the Amazon store would be really nice, but I don't know if that's even a possibility.
Man, always learning. I love it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's a trip for sure.
Yep. Well, Nate, tell everybody where they can find your stuff. Website, social media. Tell us.
Yeah, you can, you know, you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's me who runs the account. You can just go at acorn.hills. And then our website is www.acornhillsco.com.
Very nice. Well, Jonathan, we need to check it out and get some stuff. I'm scared the answers that I would get when I punch in the sizing.
That's okay. We make small to 4X. I think our biggest customer to date was like he was an old Pittsburgh basketball player from Pitt University, not just like from Pittsburgh. And he was like I think he was like 6'9", like 285 or something. That's a big dude.
Well,
Yeah,
we're not going there. So
Yeah.
I'm closer to the 285 than I am to the 6'9". So.
yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah,
That's
let
funny.
me know, guys. I'll hook you up with the code or something.
That'd be
man.
awesome.
That's awesome. Well, Nate, this has been a lot of fun, man. It's inspiring to see what you're doing. When people say that the next generation there's no hope, then everybody needs to go check out what Nate's doing with Acorn Hills.
Appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, man, it's a great story. We'll definitely keep in touch, and like we said with golf, you know, you meet somebody and then all of a sudden you want to go tee it up, and I feel like maybe we can get some golf lessons while we grab a shirt.
Don't expect much at all. I'm all self-taught. Besides college, I never had a lesson. So when I first went to college, you know, like getting that kind of high level sort of lesson was like mind-boggling to me. I didn't know how to comprehend it. So
Jonathan just started getting some lessons, so
I'm
maybe he
on
can teach us.
my
there
third
you
lesson.
go. Yeah, you can teach us both. I'm
I
all
still
for
can't
it.
hit a
So
driver.
if it doesn't feel good to me, I probably won't do it.
There you go. I like it. Well, it's been a lot of fun for Nate and Jonathan. This is Robby. You guys have been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.